Please welcome to the stage Miss Peggy Denney.
I think I need this. Good evening, everyone. Please excuse my rather casual attire. I've been hauling recycling bins and stuff all day. So you probably are anticipating that I'm going to talk about zero waste and recycling and trash, but I'm not. I'm going to talk about something that is a bit more sobering. I don't know. Is it right? Okay. How many of you have heard of Roundup and its active ingredient glyphosate? That's what I'm going to talk about tonight, because this is a pretty dire situation. Are you going to do that for me? Cool. All right. So we're just going to talk, I'm going to talk a little bit about the U.S. health stats right now. According to the Commonwealth Fund, the United States ranks 49th in health outcomes, falls behind all those countries in life expectancy. We're spending almost $10,000 a year per person on health care, and we are behind all those countries, and we are last or near last in infant mortality, and definitely last in infant mortality on day one. We have an incredible situation with chronic diseases. In the 1960s, 4% of the US population had a chronic disease. Now, 46% of children have chronic diseases. Autism in 1975 was 1 in 5,000 children. Now it is 1 in 36. Attention deficit disorders, 1 in 3. Diabetes, 1 in 4 adults. Obesity, 1 in 3, major depression, 1 in 2, cancer, 1 in 2. I don't even have this statistic, but right now, 1 in 3 men and 1 in 4 women have fertility or sterility issues. How many of you even know about the gut biome? We have about 70 trillion human cells. And we think we're so fantastic, and we are, but we need to know, we need to recognize that we have an incredible biodiversity, our microbiome. We have about 1.5 to 2 quadrillion bacteria cells in our gut and throughout our bodies. Most people don't know that, and we're so busy trying to kill them, and we need to understand that this is a holistic system that we are a part of, that we are home to. We have 300,000 species of parasites, most that are life-giving. 5 million species of fungi. And viruses, they don't even know, but it's like 10 to the 31 as far as the number of viruses that are in the universe. 10 million times more than the number of stars, which is really pretty incredible. So this is Roundup, and it was recently purchased by Bayer for about $67 billion. We spray 5.2 billion pounds of glyphosate year-round, or yearly, worldwide. And most people think that it's safe, and believe me, it is not. So it was patented in 1975 as an antimicrobial. It's never been patented as an herbicide, which is kind of interesting. As I said, touted by Monsanto to be safer than water. How many of you are aware of the GMO Roundup Ready crops? Okay, maybe not so many. Okay, but the corn and soy, canola, sugar beets, those are all Roundup Ready crops, and what that means is that they have been genetically modified in order to resist glyphosate. Okay, so they spray the entire crop to kill the weeds, and so all the grains, all the crops, the cash crops are sprayed, and all that glyphosate is taken into the plant. Go back. Sorry. Okay. But what I just found out recently is that wheat, beans, lentils, sugarcane, all the legumes that I just love, they are all sprayed with glyphosate as a desiccant so that it speeds up harvest so that they can harvest it more quickly. The weeds are now resistant to glyphosate because it is being sprayed and used so ubiquitously. And so now they're creating new herbicides, including adding 2,4-D, which is a compound of Agent Orange. So glyphosate, Monsanto has always said, well, it's safe because it disrupts the shikimate pathway, which exists in plants and bacteria and fungi, but it does not exist in the human body. Well, the problem is that because it's killing off that shikimate pathway, disrupting it, so then the neurotransmitters of serotonin, dopamine, melatonin, and melanin are all, they're entirely prevented from being created. So the number of diseases, the wide variety of diseases and conditions that are created it's just unbelievable. It preferentially kills off beneficial bacteria in the gut, and now it is sprayed on farmlands in conjunction with tilling and use of synthetic fertilizers and fungicides, herbicides, pesticides, and which is considered conventional tilling or conventional farming, and it destroys the microbiome in the soil. And most people, they don't really think about soil as having a microbiome, but it does, just like our gut. So what can we do to kind of reverse the impacts of glyphosate? And I would like to explain in detail what glyphosate does with respect to all these various conditions, but I would need about 3 hours. So what we need to be doing is striving to eat organic. Now, we don't have certified organic on Guam. It's a complex system. But at the same time, we can be embracing regenerative agriculture, which basically means no-till, no chemicals, and cover crops. Lots of cover crops, because it builds up the soil and it provides the nutrients that the plants need, that they exude to the soil and to the microorganisms that are attracted to that soil, to that plant, and that they provide to the plant the minerals and nutrients that it needs, that we need to consume. You want to eat wild fermented foods. That helps to reestablish gut biodiversity, which is just incredibly important. You want to get out in as many different environments as you possibly can. Get out in I was going to say the mountains, but maybe the hills of Guam. Get to the beach, get out into the forest, and experience and breathe in those biomes. And you want to promote regenerative agriculture. So with respect to our farming, I know that we have farmers on Guam that are still doing conventional ag, and that includes the tilling and the synthetic fertilizers and the chemical sprays. We need to get to the point where we just stop that altogether, because when you stop the no-till, then you are enhancing the soil's ability to establish and thrive as far as the microdiversity is concerned, but also it's sequestering carbon, and that can totally reverse climate change. We in the United States have over 900 million acres of farmland. If even a small portion of that went totally regenerative ag, we could begin reversing climate change in a very short period of time. And so I think this is just so important, and we want to promote cover crops on Guam. And thank goodness we don't do CAFOs here, but confined animal feeding operations, those need to be they need to be totally eliminated, because they are feeding GMO feed to the animals. The animals are sick. We are eating them. We are getting the GMO, as well as the glyphosate. And so, in conclusion, I want to create a coalition that is going to ban Roundup and consequently glyphosate on Guam. And I would like to pursue that throughout Micronesia. Thank you. We really need to get to the point where we eliminate chemicals altogether. We need to be taking care of the biodiversity in the soil as well as in our gut, and the only way we can do that is by eliminating chemicals entirely. We need to promote regenerative agriculture, and we can certainly do that here. I mean, you probably don't know this, but my bachelor's is in agriculture, and I worked with the cooperative extension, and we had no-till, but we were still, I mean, I sprayed glyphosate. I sprayed Roundup because we were told it was safe, but it is not. It is not. So, and we want to research the effectiveness of Restore. Restore is a product that was created by a triple board certified MD by the name of Dr. Zach Bush. And I listen to podcasts all the time while I'm driving. I drive a lot. I have my truck, and I have almost 118,000 miles on it, but I listen to a lot of podcasts and I learn a lot. Dr. Zach Bush and Dr. Stephanie Seneff, who is a senior researcher at MIT, they have done incredible research into glyphosate and its impacts on human health and the environment. And Dr. Bush was able to kind of discover a product in ancient soils that, it's really interesting, but it creates the communication mechanism among all the bacteria and fungi and viruses so that they are operating as they're supposed to. So you can check it out. You can go to Restore for Life. That's Restore, the number 4 Life, and check it out. I'm going to start taking it soon. But anyway, I hope that you see the importance of this, and if you have questions or want more information, you know, you can go on YouTube and just Google Dr. Zach Bush. He has innumerable podcasts and presentations at Autism One and a variety of organizations. Dr. Stephanie Seneff has done, she's been working on this for at least a dozen years. She has a very, she's very, very interested in autism because a good friend of hers had an autistic son. We need to come together and we need to work on this because the individuals who are studying this now say that if we don't make substantial changes immediately, the human race is not going to exist in about 70 or 80 years, that we will be gone. And I think that we can do amazing things together, but we just have to have the will to do so and not say, oh, it's really going to be fine when it's not. So thank you very much for your attention. I really appreciate it. Thanks.